Welcome to Calm Night Stories. Tonight, you are on a cruise ship, standing quietly on a balcony, surrounded by endless ocean and night sky. The ship moves gently across the dark sea, its motion so smooth and steady that it feels less like travel and more like floating, as if the entire vessel is drifting effortlessly through a silent world where time has slowed down. And as you stand on the balcony, you can feel that subtle movement beneath your feet, a soft, almost imperceptible sway that rises and falls in a calm rhythm, blending perfectly with the distant sound of water meeting the hull of the ship far below. The ocean stretches endlessly in every direction, dark and deep, yet calm, reflecting faint traces of moonlight that shimmer across the surface in soft, broken patterns that move with every gentle wave. And as you look out over this vast space, there is a sense of stillness that feels almost unreal, as if the entire world has quieted down just for this moment. Above you, the sky is wide and open, filled with countless stars that shine steadily in the darkness, their light soft yet constant, and the higher you look, the more the sky seems to deepen, expanding into something infinite and peaceful, as though there is no edge, no boundary, only endless space surrounding you in every direction. The air on the balcony is cool and fresh, carrying the faint scent of salt from the ocean below, and every breath you take feels clean and calming, as if the night itself is gently slowing your thoughts, helping your body relax more deeply with each passing moment. Inside the ship behind you, there is a soft, distant warmth from the interior lights, but out here on the balcony, everything feels open, quiet, and free, with only the gentle motion of the ship and the endless rhythm of the sea to keep you company. You rest your hands lightly on the railing, feeling the subtle vibration of the ship as it moves through the water, steady and predictable, like a quiet heartbeat beneath everything, something that reminds you that you are safe, supported, and completely at ease. The ocean continues its endless motion below, waves rising and falling in a slow, natural rhythm that never feels rushed or chaotic, only calm and consistent. And as you listen, you begin to notice how your breathing starts to match that same rhythm, becoming slower, deeper, and more effortless with every passing moment. There is nothing to do here, nowhere to go, nothing to hold on to. Only the sound of the sea, the gentle movement of the ship, and the quiet presence of the night around you. And as you remain here on the balcony, surrounded by the endless ocean and the vast sky above, your thoughts begin to soften, fading slowly into the background until all that remains is a quiet awareness of the present moment, calm and steady, like the sea itself. As the cruise ship continues its gentle journey across the vast ocean, the soft rocking motion becomes more noticeable now in a comforting way, as if the entire ship is breathing slowly, with the sea itself rising and falling in a rhythm that feels natural and endlessly calm. And as you remain standing on the balcony, you begin to notice how your body adjusts effortlessly to this motion, as though it was always meant to be here, always meant to move with the water in such a quiet and peaceful way. The ocean below remains dark and infinite, yet not threatening in any way. Instead, it feels deep and still, like a sleeping giant that breathes slowly beneath the surface, while faint reflections of the moonlight continue to shimmer across the gentle waves, appearing and disappearing in soft patterns that stretch all the way toward the horizon, where the sea and sky seem to merge into one continuous line of quiet darkness. The stars above remain steady and bright, scattered across the sky in a way that feels endless, and the more you look at them, the more they seem to deepen, as if the universe itself is expanding quietly in all directions, surrounding the ship in a vast and peaceful stillness that makes everything feel small, calm, and safe. The air around you remains cool and fresh, carrying the soft scent of salt and distant wind, and every breath you take feels slower and more natural, as though the air itself is guiding your body into deeper relaxation, while the faint hum of the ship beneath you continues without interruption, a steady, almost heartbeat-like presence that reminds you that everything is stable, everything is moving exactly as it should. Behind you, the interior of the ship glows warmly through the glass doors, but out here on the balcony, the world feels open and infinite, with only the ocean, the sky, and the gentle motion of the ship surrounding you in every direction, creating a perfect balance between warmth and vastness, between safety and openness. Your hands rest lightly on the railing again, and as you feel the subtle vibration of the ship moving through the water, that sensation becomes grounding and deeply calming, as though it is anchoring you gently to the present moment, without effort, without thought. As time continues without measure, the distinction between movement and stillness begins to fade, because even though the ship is moving forward through the ocean, everything feels calm and unchanging, as though you are suspended in a perfect moment that stretches endlessly in all directions. The waves below continue their steady rhythm, rolling outward and returning in soft cycles that never break the calm. And as you listen to them, your awareness begins to follow their pattern naturally, rising and falling in gentle waves of its own, becoming slower, quieter, softer with each passing moment. Your breathing now aligns almost perfectly with the motion of the sea, so natural and effortless that it feels as though you are no longer controlling it, but simply allowing it to happen as part of the same continuous flow that moves through everything around you. The night deepens further, though it is not something you notice in terms of time, only in the way the world feels slightly quieter, slightly softer, as though everything has settled into a deeper layer of calm, where even the smallest sounds feel distant and gentle. The ocean remains unchanged, steady, and infinite, while the stars above continue their silent presence, and together they create a sense of continuity that feels endless and complete, as though nothing outside this moment exists anymore. Your thoughts become fewer now, not disappearing suddenly, but slowly dissolving into the background, fading like ripples on the surface of water until only stillness remains. The breeze returns softly for a moment, brushing gently across your skin before fading again into the night. And in that brief movement, there is a quiet reminder of how delicate and peaceful everything feels here, how nothing interrupts the calm for long, how everything always returns to stillness. The ship continues its smooth motion, unchanging and steady, and the gentle rocking becomes even more soothing, as though it is guiding your entire body into deeper rest, encouraging every muscle, every sensation, every thought to relax completely. There is no need to hold anything anymore. No need to focus, no need to think. The horizon remains a soft, endless line where sea and sky blend together, and as you look at it, even your sense of direction begins to soften, as though everything is becoming part of a single continuous space without boundaries or edges. The stars reflect faintly on the water below, creating a mirrored sky that moves gently with each wave. And this reflection feels almost dreamlike, as if the world above and below are quietly breathing together in perfect harmony. Your body feels lighter now, yet deeply supported, as though the ship itself is holding you in place with gentle care, allowing you to remain completely at ease without any effort at all. As the night continues, the ocean and sky feel less like separate elements and more like one unified presence, surrounding you completely in calm, steady stillness. And within this stillness, your awareness drifts further and further away from anything active or defined. The sound of the waves becomes softer, more distant, yet still present enough to guide you deeper into relaxation, while the soft hum of the ship remains constant beneath everything, grounding the entire experience in quiet stability. Everything continues exactly as it is, without change, without interruption, without urgency. The balcony feels even more peaceful now, as though the world has slowed down around it, leaving only the gentle motion of the ship and the endless ocean beyond. And in this moment, there is nothing left to do, nothing left to observe, only a deep and growing sense of calm that fills everything completely. Your breathing is now so slow and natural that it feels like part of the environment itself, blending seamlessly with the motion of the ship and the rhythm of the sea, until even that distinction begins to fade. There is only presence, only calm, only stillness. As the night reaches its deepest point, everything remains perfectly balanced, the ocean steady, the sky vast, the ship gently moving forward through the water, and you remain completely at ease within it all, fully supported, fully relaxed, fully immersed in the quiet rhythm of the moment. There is no sense of time passing anymore, only the continuous experience of calm unfolding without end. And as you remain here, your awareness becomes softer still, drifting further into the background until it feels almost like silence itself. And as the cruise ship continues its silent journey across the endless ocean, and the stars remain steady above, and the soft waves move endlessly below, you gently drift deeper and deeper into complete relaxation, where everything is calm, everything is quiet, and everything simply flows until there is nothing left to hold on to at all, and only a peaceful, infinite stillness remains, carrying you softly into deep and uninterrupted sleep. And as the night continues without any sense of ending, the cruise ship moves further into the open ocean, where the water becomes even quieter, even more endless, as though the world itself has expanded into a deeper and softer version of reality, and the gentle motion of the ship becomes so familiar now that it no longer feels like movement at all, but rather a continuous floating presence that holds everything in a calm and steady balance. While you remain on the balcony, completely at ease, surrounded by nothing but open space, ocean, and sky. The sound of the water below grows softer in perception, not because it changes, but because your awareness of it begins to drift further away from surface level attention, settling into a deeper state where everything feels more distant yet more peaceful at the same time. And as the waves continue their slow, natural rhythm, it feels as though they are now part of the same quiet system that moves through your own breathing, your own stillness, your own sense of being. The ship continues forward, though forward no longer feels like a direction that matters, because there is no sense of arrival or departure here, only continuation, only gentle movement through an endless calm. And the balcony you are standing on feels less like a physical place and more like a suspended moment within the ocean and sky, where everything remains soft, open, and infinitely quiet. Above, the sky seems even wider now, stretching beyond what can be easily imagined, with stars scattered across it like silent witnesses to the calm that surrounds everything. And the longer you remain looking upward, the more the boundary between sky and sea begins to blur, until it feels as though you are floating inside a single unified space of darkness and light, where everything is connected through stillness rather than distance. The air remains steady, cool but gentle, and each breath you take feels less like an action and more like a natural response to the environment itself, as though the entire world is breathing with you, slowly and evenly, without effort or interruption, guiding you deeper into a state where even awareness begins to soften and expand at the same time. The soft vibrations of the ship continue beneath you, subtle and constant, and they become something grounding in the most peaceful way, not something that demands attention, but something that quietly reassures you that everything is stable, everything is safe, everything is continuing exactly as it should. And within that feeling, your body relaxes even more deeply into the present moment. The ocean below now appears almost like a dark, endless field of movement, where each wave blends into the next without separation, and the reflections of starlight across its surface seem to move slower now, as though even light itself has become part of the calm rhythm that defines the night. And as you observe this without effort, your mind begins to follow that same softness, that same slow unfolding. There is no urgency anywhere in this space, no expectation, no interruption, only a continuous flow of presence that remains unchanged no matter how much time passes. And within that flow, your thoughts become fewer and softer, appearing only briefly before dissolving back into silence, as though they are no longer needed to experience the moment fully. The railing beneath your hands feels cool and steady, a simple point of contact between you and the world. Yet even that sensation begins to fade into the background of awareness, not disappearing, but becoming part of the larger feeling of calm that now fills everything equally, without distinction. As the night deepens further unto its quietest state, the entire environment seems to slow even more, not in movement but in perception, as though everything has entered a deeper layer of stillness that exists beneath ordinary awareness, and within that layer The ocean, the ship, the sky, and your own presence all feel like parts of one continuous peaceful field that stretches endlessly in every direction. The wind barely moves now, only occasional soft currents passing through the space around you, and each one feels like a gentle reminder that everything is still alive, still flowing, but in the slowest, most peaceful way imaginable, as though the entire world has chosen to rest alongside you. Your breathing has become almost invisible in its rhythm, so natural that it no longer stands out as something separate from the environment, and instead feels like just another part of the ocean's movement, another part of the ship's gentle sway, another part of the night itself. The stars above remain unchanged, yet they no longer feel distant, as though distance itself has softened, and everything now exists closer together within this calm awareness, where space and time no longer feel separate, and everything simply exists in one continuous, unbroken presence of stillness. The ocean continues without pause, and even though it moves, it feels completely calm, completely steady, as though movement and stillness are no longer opposites, but the same thing expressed in a different forms. And as you remain here, you begin to experience that same unity within yourself, where there is no longer separation between body, breath, and environment. Everything is part of the same quiet rhythm now, and as this realization gently fades into deeper relaxation, the ship continues its silent journey across the endless water. The balcony remains still and open to the night air, and you remain fully supported, fully calm, fully immersed in a state where nothing needs to be done and nothing needs to change, because everything is already exactly as it should be in this endless, peaceful night at sea. And as the cruise ship continues its silent journey deeper into the open ocean, the feeling of movement becomes even more subtle, almost as if the entire vessel has become part of the water itself, drifting without resistance through a vast, endless calm, where nothing interrupts the gentle flow of the night. And as you remain on the balcony, everything around you feels softer, quieter, and more distant, yet more complete at the same time. The ocean below continues its endless rhythm, but now it feels less like separate waves and more like one continuous surface of motion that stretches infinitely in every direction, reflecting faint traces of starlight in ways that shimmer and dissolve without beginning or end. And as you observe this, your awareness begins to follow that same continuity, slowly, naturally, without effort. The air remains steady and cool, and every breath feels lighter now, as though it is no longer something you are controlling, but something that is simply happening within you, in harmony with everything else around you. While the soft hum of the ship beneath your feet remains constant, grounding, and deeply reassuring. The horizon feels less defined now, as sea and sky blend together into one vast unified darkness, and the longer you look into it, the more it feels like the edges of perception itself begin to soften, as though everything is merging into a single peaceful space that holds all sound, all movement, all stillness at once. The stars above remain countless and steady, but they no longer feel far away. Instead, they feel integrated into the same calm field that surrounds you, as if distance itself has dissolved into quiet presence. And within that presence, there is no separation between what is seen and what is felt. The gentle rocking of the ship continues, but even that sensation begins to fade into background awareness, no longer something you notice directly, but something you are simply carried by, as though the ocean and the ship have become one continuous movement of peace. Time no longer feels structured here, and instead everything exists in a soft, extended now, where nothing begins and nothing ends. And as this sense deepens, your thoughts become fewer, slower, and more transparent, appearing only briefly before dissolving back into silence without effort. The balcony remains still and open, and the cool metal beneath your hands feels distant, yet grounding, like a quiet anchor within a space that feels infinite and weightless at the same time, allowing your body to remain completely relaxed without needing to adjust or respond. The ocean continues without interruption, and even its sound feels softer now, less like noise and more like a background presence that gently supports the entire moment. The wind barely moves, only occasionally passing through in soft, invisible currents that touch the surface of your skin and then fade, leaving behind a deeper stillness, each time as though even the air is learning how to rest more completely. The ship continues forward, but forward no longer feels meaningful because everything feels like one continuous space of calm motion, where direction no longer matters and only presence remains. Your breathing is now almost completely effortless, blending with the rhythm of the ocean so naturally that it feels indistinguishable from it, as though you are no longer separate from the environment, but part of its continuous flow. The reflections on the water grow softer and more abstract, shifting gently without forming clear shapes. And in this gentle abstraction, there is a deep sense of peace, as though clarity itself has relaxed into something more fluid and open. The sky feels even larger now, not because it has changed, but because perception has expanded, allowing everything to feel more spacious, more infinite, more connected. The entire world feels quiet in a way that is not empty, but full of calm presence, as though silence itself has become the foundation of everything you experience. The balcony, the ship, the ocean, the sky, and your own awareness all feel like parts of a single continuous field now, where nothing stands apart and everything flows together in a slow, peaceful unity that does not need to be understood, only experienced. The gentle vibration of the ship continues beneath everything, steady and constant. But even that begins to feel distant now, as your awareness moves deeper into stillness, where even subtle sensations fade into soft background calm. There is nothing to hold on to here, nothing to analyze, nothing to follow, only the quiet unfolding of the moment as it continues endlessly. The ocean stretches on without end, and yet there is no sense of distance anymore, only presence, as though everything is happening right here, in this single quiet space of night and water and sky. The stars remain above, unchanged and constant, but even they feel more like a gentle feeling than distant objects, part of the same calm that surrounds and flows through everything at once. Your body remains fully supported, fully at ease, and fully still, as though it has become perfectly aligned with the rhythm of the environment itself. As the night continues, the sense of separation between inside and outside fades almost completely, until there is no longer a clear boundary between the self and the surroundings, only a shared stillness that fills everything equally and without interruption. The ocean continues its endless motion, but it feels like stillness in motion, a quiet paradox that no longer needs to be resolved, only experienced in its natural balance. Everything remains exactly as it is, calm, steady, and infinite. And as this deep calm continues to unfold without end, the cruise ship moves gently forward through the vast ocean. The stars remain softly glowing above, and the entire night holds you in a state of complete stillness and peace, where nothing changes, nothing disturbs, and nothing is required. And within this infinite quiet, you drift deeper and deeper into a calm that continues far beyond thought, far beyond awareness, into a peaceful rest that carries you gently through the endless night. And as the night reaches its deepest and most silent point over the endless ocean, everything begins to feel even more still, not because anything has stopped, but because everything has softened into a perfect continuous calm, where movement and silence feel like the same thing, and the cruise ship continues its gentle path through the water, as if it is not moving at all, but simply existing within the ocean itself, carried effortlessly by something vast, quiet, and infinite. The balcony you are standing on feels even more peaceful now, as though it has become part of the night rather than something separate from it, and the cool air around you feels balanced and steady, never too cold, never too warm, just a soft presence that gently surrounds everything without interruption, while the faint sound of the ocean below has become more like a distant rhythm, something you feel more than you hear. The stars above seem even more endless now, scattered across a sky that feels deeper than before, as if it has expanded beyond any boundary of perception. And the longer you look into it, the more it feels like the sky is not above you, but all around you, wrapping the entire world in a quiet, infinite space of calm light and darkness that moves together in perfect harmony. The ocean continues its slow motion beneath the ship, but even that movement now feels like part of a larger stillness, a stillness that includes everything at once: the water, the air, the ship, the sky, and your own presence, all flowing together in one seamless experience that does not need to be understood, only felt. Your breathing has become so natural now that it feels as though it belongs to the night itself, rising and falling in perfect rhythm with the ocean. And with each breath, you feel your awareness soften even further, becoming lighter, quieter, and more distant from anything that requires thought or effort. There is no longer any sense of direction or distance, no sense of past or future, only this continuous moment that stretches endlessly in every direction, where everything remains exactly as it is, calm, steady, and deeply peaceful, as though the entire universe has slowed down just enough for you to rest completely within it. The gentle vibration on the ship beneath you remains constant, but even that now feels like part of a deeper silence, silence that is not empty but full, not absent but complete, holding everything together in a quiet balance that never breaks and never changes. The horizon blends softly into the darkness, and the ocean and sky no longer feel separate at all, but instead merge into a single infinite space where everything flows into everything else. And within that space, there is only calm, only stillness, only presence. Your body feels completely supported now, as though the entire ship, the ocean, and the night itself are holding you gently in place, allowing every part of you to relax fully without resistance, without effort, without awareness of anything, except this deep, soft calm that surrounds you completely. Even the idea of being awake begins to fade now, not suddenly, but slowly, like a gentle sinking into warmth and quiet, where thoughts no longer form clearly and everything becomes softer, more distant, more peaceful with each passing moment. The ocean continues, the stars remain, the night holds steady, and everything flows in its endless rhythm. But none of it requires attention anymore, because everything has already become part of the same quiet presence that carries you effortlessly through this moment. And as this presence deepens even further, there is nothing left to hold on to, nothing left to follow, nothing left to do, only the soft sensation of being completely at ease within a world that has become entirely calm, entirely still, entirely safe. The cruise ship continues its silent journey across the vast ocean. The stars continue to shine gently above, and the waves continue their endless motion below. But all of it now feels distant, soft and unified, as though it exists in the background of a peaceful dream that carries you further and further inward. And in this final state of complete calm, where everything has slowed into a perfect and infinite stillness, you no longer feel separate from the night or the ocean or the sky, because everything has become one continuous experience of peace. And within that peace, you are completely safe, completely relaxed, and completely free. There is nothing more to notice now, nothing more to follow, nothing more to hold, only the calm, only the stillness, only the endless quiet presence of the ocean night. And as it all continues softly without end, you drift deeper than thought, deeper than sound, deeper than awareness itself, into a peaceful sleep that carries you gently forward, held by the ocean, the sky, and the quiet rhythm of the endless night.